Hi, welcome to video 3 in our series about fitness. Today I'd like to talk to you about the squat and the lunge. The squat and the lunge are two of the 5 basic body movements. It goes along with pushing and pulling and bending and twisting. The squat's function is to work is to deal with vertical load. The most important fundamental of the squat is that the hips do the first part of the movements, and that the back remains neutral, and that knees are allowed to track efficiently in order to direct energy. The quality of your movement within the squat is really determined upon 2 things. Your ability to synchronize the muscles in the specific order from hips outwards, and that mobility, which is really the body's ability to move through a range of motion with strength, is not inhibited. This is an important quality, and it's a place where you can make improvement as far as your squat is concerned. So in basic terms, finding a position over your feet is a good starting point. That the weight is evenly distributed over top of the feet, and that the first part, the hips go back. Okay, hands can work in counterbalance from there. So when the hips go back, it allows the knees to function well in order to distribute the effort. What I see sometimes, not that common, but sometimes I see, is that the knees move first, and immediately the hip isn't involved, or the butt muscles aren't engaged at all, and there's more of a load on to the quads. Now this exercise is fine, and if you're working something specifically, and it's basically called a hack squat, in order to develop the musculature around the knees. The lunge, to me, becomes slightly more complex in the sense that you're creating lateral movement, or that's its function, and that as well it's working leg to leg. So whatever effort you're generating from one leg is being transferred into another. Now, common areas or places where to master is that when you go to propel yourself, that both legs become involved. That one leg is working to propel energy towards the other leg, and that both legs work to decelerate. Now, both or all joints should bend. So that means both knees bend, so both legs can take the effort. And this works in multi-directional as well. So the hip is still the link as far as lunging is concerned. And if strength comes from the hip, it means that it can work to be a little bit more parallel to the ground. So in the case of a front lunge like this, we want to make sure that the hips stay strong and that they're a good base of support along with the abdominals and the back in order for the legs to function and do well. Sometimes you see is that there's sort of a pigeon toe and a collapse. So it's really the joints just banging up against each other, and this is very difficult to create any type of power or strength in this type of a movement. So we want to make sure that when we land solidly so the musculature can drive the joints through their ranges of motion in order to create better power or movement. Bending and twisting can be incorporated into both of these exercises. When it comes to the squat, we can make a twist from this position, from these positions as we go. And if it comes to the lunge, we can do the same with both. We can bend, okay, or as well we can twist. Another important aspects as far as lunging is concerned, and maybe as it relates to reaching, is that the body can progress from being vertical to leaning forward or in. So this also incorporates bending, a bending type aspect to the movement. I suggest that in your training you work to master the squat and the lunge, and understand its various progressions. As well, be clear on what perhaps is lacking in the chain. If you are having challenges with ankle mobility, or if there's tightness in the lower legs, etc., it's not the best idea to work through these things and just let the exercise sort of strengthen within a poor skill range. Have an assessment by a professional trainer and find the necessary strength exercises in order to improve and progress. So this is important before you start getting into overhead lifting and Olympic type lifting, or where the joints are doing multiple effort, perhaps like dragon squats, etc. I hope that you find this video informative for you. I welcome your comments and/or your debates, and please make them here on our website, and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. Thank you.